Read in the parsha about the korban olah, the burnt offering, which the only thing which is received by the kohanim are the hides of the burnt offering, but the korban itself, the sacrifice itself, is fully burnt. So the Midrash tells us, Zos Torah Olah, Lo Menikrushma Olah. Why is it called Olah? So Olah seemingly would mean because it's fully consumed. It ascends. So the Midrash says differently. Lo Menikrushma Olah, She Elyona Mikol Arbanus. Because it's the most special, it's the most elevated of all the sacrifices. Ha'olah hi olah. It is the ultimate in terms of its value. Teda, proof of this point. Misha may be chatos, a sin offering. If one brings a chatos, a sin offering, if one violated something which carries liability of kores, or the death penalty if he transgresses inadvertently. B'shogeg. HaKohen notlo, the Kohen has his portion. The only thing that's sacrificed is burnt on the mizbeach, are the innards. V'kacha mincho, v'zevach ha'shlomim lebaleim, a shlomim is eaten consumed by the one who brings the peace offering. Ha'osham, the guilt offering, la Kohen. Aval ha'olah, but the burnt offering, ein bria to'i mimeno. No living creature, the human being, does not partake of it. Elokula olah kadosh baruch hu, shu elyon. The reason why it's Elyona, it's the most special, because it's fully committed and consecrated for the ultimate. Therefore, the classification is called Olio. It's the Elyona, it's the ultimate, the most advanced, the most holy, because it is for the most holy, for God Himself. It's interesting. The Gemara tells us, when does one bring an Olah? If a person violated a mitzvah aseh, which one violates passively, not proactively. One doesn't say the Shema, one doesn't eat matzah on Pesach, one doesn't sit in the sukkah when he should have sat in the sukkah, or a lava nitik aseh, a person transgresses a negative commandment, although the aseh corrected the negative commandment, and that's why one doesn't receive malchus, lashes, when he violates, if one steals, because it could be corrected by returning the stolen item. One sends away, supposed to send away the mother bird. It says you should not take the bird together with its chicks or with its eggs. But if you send away the mother bird, you correct the lo saseh. It says you should not leave over from the sacrificial meat till the morning. And if you did, you're in violation of negative commandment. However, beish tisrofu. But if you burn it, that's a positive commandment. It's a correction on the lo saseh. Person, God forbid, who rapes or seduces a woman who's a Narab Sula, she's 12 years old and she's a virgin, Torah says he's not permitted to divorce her. He must keep her as a wife forever, but if he does divorce her, he is able to correct that by remarrying her. These are all examples of Lavanitik Laseh. So basically, the actual negative commandment has been corrected. He's not subject to Malchus. But factually, but you're not fully there, you're not in the good graces of Hashem until you bring that. And although the Gemara tells us that if a person does tshuva on the mitzvah aseh, and zaz misham al Hashem ochno, so he's fully atoned, doesn't have to wait for Yom Kippur. That's what's special about tshuva on a positive commandment. He's forgiven if he does a sincere repentance. Nevertheless, he still needs that aseh to be fully reinstated in the good graces of Hashem. You have to bring the burnt offering. That's what you have to bring. Or the lavadik le'eseg. Although it was corrected, but you're still not there. If a person brings a chatos, every sin offering is accompanied with an olah, although you're fully atoned. But to be in the good graces of God, as the Gemara tells us in Tzvachim, one must bring a gift. It's referred to as a doron. Only if you bring the gift, only then are you reinstated in the good graces of God. Olah. So it's something which the Kohen doesn't participate, does not partake of it, or the owner does not partake of it. The Gemara tells us in a number of locations, specifically one, Kohanim ochlim ubalim iskaprim. When the Kohen eats of the korban, this brings atonement. We're talking about the chatos or the osham, or even the shlomim when he receives his portion. When the Kohen eats, he atones, his eating atones for the sin of the one who brings the offering, the korban, the sacrifice. What's the idea? In every negative commandment, which is always the mitzvah saseh, which is always, whether it's Shabbos, whether it's Yom Kippur, or it's some other area of proactive transgression, there's always that partaking in the physical. One did not rein in on his physical, and he transgressed. Ate on Yom Kippur, had the illicit sexual relationship, which he should not, inadvertently, brings a chatos. Kohanim ochlim bailim skaprim. So the Kohen's physical action of consuming, which is a physical action, that atones for the physical action of the person. That's Kohanim ochlim bailim skaprim. B'shulchan kavoko zochu, the Gemara says, the Kohen, that if he's mekadesh, if he marries a woman with his portion of the chatos or the osham, enim kodesh, she's not married. Because it's Mishulchan Avosa Kozochu, because he's eating off the food off God's table. It's only given to him that he should atone that his eating, being the Kohen, his physical act of eating, although it's a pleasurable act, it's a physical act, that atones for the eating, the forbidden, the prohibited eating of the Yisrael. So it's Hiya Ola. But it's interesting, even when you bring the Chatos or the Osham, the Kohen is not permitted to partake of the meat, of the guilt offering, the sin offering, until you've actually sprinkled the blood on the Mizbeach. What happens if he sprinkles the blood, and let's say the meat becomes contaminated, and you're not able to sacrifice it? The person's atoned. Because the Gemara tells us the primary atonement is with the sprinkling of the blood. Ika kapara b'dam. The primary atonement comes through the blood. So therefore, even what he eats, factually, that's only something in addition. So the blood, he's not even permitted until God has received his portion, so to say, which is kidamu nefesh. The blood is the life source. So really, he was actually the person, that's his blood, the equivalent of his blood on the Mizbeach. Once that has been given, and that's to the Mizbeach, now the Kohen could assume the position of the person who transgressed to eat, and only then is his eating considered in atonement. So therefore, but the Ola, there's no participation of the Kohen. It's fully for God, because it's the ultimate level, as he says, as Hashem is Elyon, so the korban is referred to as Ola.